9 to 5 isn't for everyone. Having a company, owning a business is no easy work. Today, we're going to talk about my journey leaving a 9 to 5 to owning my own business for 12 plus years. So I've literally filmed this video 3 times. I'm going to be straight up. I want to talk about company. I want to talk about building a business. And funny enough, when I thought about filming this video, someone popped up in my comments and said something that correlates with this. So I don't know if it's the universe speaking that I have to talk about this. So I'm going to read the comments. The person said, problem also is people like what is popular. They're scared of new. They feel uncomfortable. Basically saying that when something is new and people think about doing it, they get scared. They feel fear. And it correlates so well with what I wanted to talk about, because I'm talking about pivoting, leaving your 9 to 5 to start a business, which I did a long time ago. I've had my company for 12 plus years now. I started out part-time and then I went, full in. Starting a business, having a company, it's not for everyone. That's the first thing I want to tell you. With COVID, a lot of people started making serious money online. People are inside. There were people who were just creative. They came on your screen because you were inside during COVID. You couldn't do anything else but look at that screen, and you were entertained by people who took a leap of faith and did something. So all these creators that you see now that are, that blew up, they blew up around the COVID era. But also during the COVID era, I think we've assumed that everyone needs to be a creator, everyone needs to be a founder, everyone needs to earn that quick money. I think that's incorrect. Do we need founders? Yes. Do we need people who are working a 9 to 5? Also, yes. But you pick and choose which side of the spectrum you're on, whether you're going to a 9 to 5 or you're building and starting your company. Let's get that straight. Building a company isn't for everyone. I had something that I think that if you're a founder and you're listening to this, you can relate. I had the founder's itch. I call it the founder's itch. I don't know if that's a term, but that's how I call it. I was working at a company, one of the first companies that I worked for, where I built my experience. And literally what I saw happening, I've probably always had this entrepreneurship in me, but what I saw happening was that I was creating something because I'm a designer by heart, a strategist, and I created something, my idea, my concept, everything, and that was taken from my desk and then sold for X amount. Literally, that happened. And then I started to process. In my early years, I started thinking, wait, what is the difference between me and my boss? My boss has a lot of money, and my boss has a very, very strong network. That bag of money I cannot get overnight, probably not. But the network I could build, I could start building. So I started calculating for myself, like, okay, I'm working my 9 to 5. Let me just get the experience that I need. So work on the projects, learn and get the experience, but also keeping in mind that I do not want to work for someone for the rest of my life. I want to start something myself. So I did on the side, I did work. At that time, it was concept and graphic design work. So a lot of designing work, less strategy work because I was fresh off the boat. I was just starting out. So I did some design work, got experience, did design and strategy and concept work on the job. So I grew, and within those years, as I saw that I couldn't learn any more in the company, I went to my boss and I was like, I'm leaving. I wanna do my own thing. And literally my boss looked at me, and I kid you not, and he said, you're gonna be coming back here because you cannot own your own company, because you are too empathetic, you're too nice. I won't forget those words. And I said to him, I was like, I'm not coming back. Like, even if I fail, if I fail, I'm too proud for that. I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back to you. Mind you, my boss, he was a good guy. He wasn't a bad guy. I thought he was a good person and a very nice person. At least to me, he was. And he respected my work and he wanted to keep me there. So when he saw that I was convinced to leave, he started throwing money. So he was like, I'm gonna, double, triple your salary. You're gonna get a better car. So he was just trying to give me monetary things. I've already made up my mind that this was something that I wanted to do. I wanted to build, start my company and do my own thing. So I got that founder's itch, that entrepreneur itch that I just needed to do it. So fast forward, I left the company, and luckily enough, I got a client, which was a big-ish client, and I was good. I was good to start off. Then I met a year where things weren't so good. Like I wasn't getting any business, and it was losing my house and sleeping outside or searching for a 9 to 5, which the obvious option was looking for a 9 to 5. So I went to work for a company, and I told the person that, that I worked for, my boss, I was like, hey, I really want to start my business. I really want to do my own thing. So know that this is only like for a short period of time, for a year. I'm not going to stay here any longer, which I did not. And we had our arrangements. I came in like a senior, and I did things, and I helped the person, and it was it was a good arrangement. But I knew I was only there to kind of bridge. That year I had to go back to a 9 to 5, but within the first 6 months I was like, oh my gosh, I can't stay here. I need to leave. That itch became strong. I did end up finishing the year. I just had that itch. And the reason I'm telling you this is because maybe you're at your 9 to 5 and you feel something. You feel like, oh, I need to do something else. I'm not feeling this. Then that's the entrepreneur itch. You really need to think about it, or because that itch will get louder and louder and louder. Maybe you're at a 9 to 5 and you don't even understand what I'm speaking. That's totally fine. I'm not saying you should leave your job. 9 to 5 is good. The only thing that I will touch on about a 9 to 5, and I think everyone should know this, and it's a myth. People who are at a 9 to 5, they think that it's security. Nothing is security. You could lose your job today. You could lose your job tonight. You could lose your job tomorrow, next week. That's how businesses and companies are. You have no security. People think that building a business is a greater risk. No, actually, not building anything for yourself and staying at a company, that is the greatest risk, because you're putting your future into someone else's hands. You get it? So that's just something I want to get out there. Like, your 9 to 5 isn't any kind and form of security, but a company is also not a form of security. Definitely not, because your company could go bankrupt any time. Like me, I had a company, I had no business, and I had to go back to a 9 to 5. So that can happen. The difference is, and this is like the big difference I see between the two, is owning my company, I learn a lot of things. The growth is exponential. Like you grow exponentially. When I was at a 9 to 5, I could only grow so much within that company. Even in salary, there's like a difference between the two. So the itch was the most important thing for me, not the money or anything, just the itch. It's inside me to become an entrepreneur, to do business. So that's a bit of my journey. In saying that, I also experienced fear. Before I left my first job, the one that the boss tried to throw money at me, I kind of felt nervous, very, very scared. I remembered I was so scared to leave because I had golden handcuffs. So the money he was actually throwing at me, I didn't need. I had more than enough. I had a golden handcuff. Let's just say that I had a golden handcuff. So I was already thinking, what am I leaving behind? And for what? I didn't know if my company was gonna work. I didn't know what was gonna happen. I didn't know where I would stand within 6 months. Yes, I had some savings set aside, but I was just so insecure. I really did not know. So if you're feeling the same thing, insecurity, that is completely normal. It is completely normal. When you're pivoting, you always have an insecurity. It's exactly what this person said. People are scared of new things, basically. People are scared of new things. So anytime something is new, you you tend to be afraid, and it's normal. It's normal to have nerves. I call it healthy nerves. But that should not keep you from doing the thing. That should not keep you from taking the leap of faith. There's a funny story that Les Brown, I don't know if you know Les Brown, motivational, inspirational speaker, a great speaker, by the way. If you don't know him, definitely check out his material. A story, he tells it a lot better, but there was someone who saw like a dog. He was walking somewhere, saw a dog. The dog was barking, and the person was very scared of the dog, so ran away. And this kept happening for a couple of days. And then one day, the person got his courage together and stood in front of the dog and was like, I'm not gonna run today. I'm gonna stand. I'm not running anymore. And when the dog started barking, he saw that the dog had no teeth, like there's no tooth. So then the person started laughing, like, you can't even bite me, you're just barking. And that's how I see fears. I see them as we do not know, like we are scared of what we don't know. The person in the story was scared of what he did not know. He knew there was a dog, but he didn't know anything about the dog. But once he knew that the dog was harmless, then he could be freely. And I think the same goes if you're scared of starting your own company or scared of anything in life, then know that that fear lives up here. I'm scared of a lot of things. I'm scared of a lot of things, and I'll be. Don't laugh at me, but I'm scared of mice, like rats. I'm scared of heights, like all of that. If I have like a rat or a mice in the house, like I'm jumping on the chair, and I'm a big guy. I'm 6'4". I'm decently built, but still, I don't know. It's just that, not scared, but just like that. Ew, that ugh. Like that. That's what I have for mice. Heights. If you put me on top of a building, like, very high building, I'm crying. Like I'm really scared of height. I don't know why. I'm just scared of those things. And I know one day I should overcome them, but just the thought of it makes me scared. Sometimes you have to face your fear. And I believe I told you last video, I want to become a speaker and I want to do that worldwide. So I'll probably be flying all over the globe. I hope I'll be flying all over the globe. And every time I get into a plane, I'm like, oh my gosh, please don't crash. No, I'm really scared because of the heights and just all of that, just not being in control. So sometimes we have to face our fears. And if your fear is starting your business, sometimes you just have to start. I believe it's Gary Vee that says this so well. He says, like, if you're thinking about leaving or you hate your job and you want to do something else, just do it, because you can always go back. And like my boss said, even though I would leave, he said, you will come back. It means that, you're okay to coming back, because I'm good at what I do. So he wanted me to come back. And that could be your case too. Maybe you're working a 9 to 5 and you can be straight up with your boss and be like, hey, I'm thinking about starting my own business. And there are a lot of employers that will be like, hey, good on you, good for you. And if you ever want to come back, we have space for you. So all I'm saying is that life is very short. You pick and choose where you want to go, whether it's a 9 to 5, whether it's starting your own company. Both are good. Both are needed. Don't let anyone tell you anything different. That was it for today. I'm KJ. You've watched The Brand Diary, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.